If your goal is to make an extra $500 a month, you do not need a miracle business model. You need something realistic. That means a side hustle you can understand quickly, start without a big upfront cost, and stick with long enough to get results. In this video, I am going to show you 5 realistic ways to earn an extra $500 a month, explain why they work, and help you think about which one fits your situation best. Before we get into the list, let me define what I mean by realistic. I am not talking about overnight success, passive income with no work, or vague advice that sounds exciting but falls apart when you try it. A realistic side hustle has low startup cost, a simple offer or process, and a believable path to your first small win. The goal is not building a perfect business this week. The goal is earning your first real dollars and proving that you can create extra income consistently. The first realistic path is content repurposing. This means taking one long video, podcast, or live stream and turning it into smaller pieces like short clips, captions, quote posts, and simple content packs. A lot of creators know they should post more, but they do not have the time or energy to cut everything up themselves. That creates an opportunity for a beginner who is organized, consistent, and willing to learn a simple editing workflow. Even 1 or 2 clients can get you close to that extra $500 a month. Here is why this one is realistic. The math is simple. If you help 2 small creators for $250 each per month, that is your $500. If you are brand new and price lower at the start, maybe you help 5 people for $100 each with a very small package. The key is making the offer easy to understand. For example, I turn one long video into 3 short clips and a caption pack every week. That is a service people can picture and budget for. The second realistic path is virtual assistant work. This is not flashy, but that is exactly why it works. A lot of business owners are overwhelmed by repetitive tasks like inbox cleanup, scheduling, basic research, lead tracking, file organization, and follow-up messages. If you are dependable and detail-oriented, you can turn that reliability into income. This works especially well for beginners because you do not need to be a marketing genius. You need to be useful, responsive, and easy to work with, which already puts you ahead of a lot of people. Virtual assistant work gets to $500 pretty fast because the tasks repeat. You might handle inbox management and scheduling for 1 client at $500 a month, or you might split that between 2 clients at $250 each. The reason this is realistic is that business owners do not want to keep rehiring for the same small tasks over and over. If you can take something off their plate consistently, even a basic task, they often prefer keeping you around month after month. The third option is selling simple digital templates. This can mean Canva templates, Notion trackers, checklists, planners, social media packs, or other small tools that save people time. The important thing here is staying simple. A lot of people fail with digital products because they try to make a massive bundle before they understand what buyers want. A better move is creating one small product that solves one clear pain point for one kind of person. That is what makes this a realistic option instead of just a nice-sounding idea. Now, to keep this realistic, digital templates usually take longer than service work, but the math can still make sense. 25 sales of a $20 product is $500. 10 sales of a $50 bundle is also $500. The reason this can work is that the product can sell more than once, but I would still treat this as the best option for somebody who does not mind slower momentum and is willing to test what buyers respond to. It becomes even stronger when paired with a service or content strategy. The fourth realistic path is tutoring or simple coaching support online. This does not have to mean being a full-time teacher. If you are good at math, writing, a language, study skills, or even basic software tools, there are people willing to pay for help. The reason this works is because the value is easy to understand. Somebody wants a better grade, more confidence, or faster progress, and you help them get there. When your outcome is clear, selling the service becomes much easier than selling something abstract. Tutoring can reach $500 a month with pretty manageable numbers. If you charge $25 per session and do 5 sessions a week, you are at roughly $500 over the month. If you can charge more because of the subject or your experience, you can get there even faster. This one is realistic because it does not depend on virality, ads, or a store getting traffic. It depends on helping a real person in a way they can feel immediately, which is a much more stable starting point. The fifth path is local flipping and online reselling. This means finding underpriced items and reselling them for a profit on places like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, or local apps. This one is realistic for a very specific kind of person. If you enjoy hunting for deals, comparing prices, and moving inventory, it can work surprisingly well. The trick is not buying random stuff. You want to learn a few item categories, understand the market, and stay disciplined about margins. Done casually but consistently, it can absolutely produce an extra $500 a month. If you want the fastest path to your first extra income, I would usually rank service-based options first. Content repurposing, virtual assistant work, and tutoring all have a direct exchange built in. Somebody has a problem now, and you can help solve it now. That is why they tend to beat template shops and passive income style ideas in the beginning. When your goal is $500 a month, speed matters because early proof gives you momentum. The faster you get proof, the easier it is to keep going. What I would avoid at the start is any model with too many moving parts. If you are trying to make an extra $500 a month, you do not need a complicated e-commerce brand, a giant course launch, or some elaborate automation system. Those models can work eventually, but they are not the cleanest path for a beginner who wants early wins. Simpler models give you faster feedback. Faster feedback helps you improve, and that improvement is what actually makes the $500 goal feel possible instead of theoretical. A smart way to approach this is not aiming at $500 first. Aim at your first $100. Pick one of these models. Create one simple offer or one simple product, and focus on getting that first proof of demand. Once you make the first 100, the next question becomes easier. How do I repeat this? That is a much better problem to solve than sitting around wondering which path might work someday. Proof creates clarity, and clarity is what helps you scale up to the full monthly target. Once something starts working, the next step is repetition, not reinvention. If one client says yes, look for a second similar client. If one tutoring offer works, keep the structure and improve the pitch. If one template sells, make a cleaner version or a related product. A lot of people never reach $500 a month because they abandon the first good sign and jump to another shiny idea. Momentum usually comes from doing more of what already showed promise, not starting over every week. So if your goal is to earn an extra $500 a month, pick the option that fits your strengths and your attention span best. If you like client work, start with a service. If you like making useful resources, try templates. If you like teaching, look at tutoring. If you enjoy buying and selling, reselling could be your lane. The important thing is choosing one path and moving this week. And if you want the next video, comment which one of these 5 you want me to break down into a full step-by-step action plan.